All right, let's just jump right in. Go ahead and open up any music app you have. You're staring at basically infinity. Millions and millions of songs, playlists for every mood, all there. It feels like you have all the choice in the world, doesn't it? But what's really going on behind that little play button is a huge global power struggle. And that question, that's really what this is all about. In this endless ocean of music, are you really the one steering the ship? Or are there invisible currents pulling you in directions you don't even notice? It turns out, your choices might not be as free as you think they are. Yeah, what you end up listening to is actually the result of a massive battle. It's a fight for your ears, and it's being fought by huge corporations, by governments, and by super passionate communities, all of them trying to create the world's soundtrack. So, let's start by pulling back the curtain on the new gatekeepers, right? The ones who take that giant ocean of music and shrink it down to what actually hits your headphones. Who are they, and what are they looking for? This right here is the central conflict in music today. On one side, you've got the algorithm. It's all about data, it's super efficient, and it's basically designed to give you more of what it knows you already like. And on the other side, you have the human curator. Think music journalists, editors, DJs, people who use their taste, who know the stories, to introduce you to something totally new. It's really a showdown between machine efficiency and human connection. And if you really want to understand the algorithm's power, you just have to follow the money. See, most of the big streaming services use something called the pro rata model. Just imagine this. Every month, all the subscription money from every single user gets tossed into one giant pot. And here's the wild part about how that pot gets split up. It doesn't matter if you spent the whole month listening to just one single indie artist from your hometown. Your money still goes into that giant pool. And the payout? It's all based on market share. So the artists who already have the most streams, the global superstars, they get the biggest piece of the pie. The system is built to make the popular even more popular. And that's exactly why that human element is so important to so many people. I mean, this quote from the Harvard Crimson nails it. Algorithms are incredible at spotting patterns, sure, but journalism, human curation, that's about connection. It's about knowing the story behind the song, the artist's struggle, the culture it came from. All this stuff an algorithm just can't process. Okay, so we've looked at who is choosing the music, but that's only half the story. The other, maybe even bigger half, is about where music is even allowed to exist in the first place. And trust me, these spaces for expression look incredibly different depending on where you are in the world. In some places, the digital world is completely controlled from the top down. A perfect example is China. As Freedom House reports, a huge cybersecurity law gives the state incredible power to censor whatever they want, track users, and even force tech companies to help with security investigations. That creates a really tough climate for any artist who's trying to do something different. But, and this is what's so fascinating, culture always finds a way. Even in that super controlled environment, a mainstream rock reality show, of all things, became what one publication called a rare space for cultural unity. It just goes to show you, even in the most restrictive systems, these little pockets of expression can pop up and give people a taste of something else. And then, on the complete other end of the spectrum, you have something like this, purely bottom-up expression. This is a fundraiser put on by the techno community in Berlin. Here, music isn't just background noise, it's a tool. It's a way to take political action, to show solidarity, and to rally a whole community around a cause. Which brings us to the ultimate form of top-down control, when the state itself doesn't just regulate a music industry, but decides to build one from scratch. This is music being used as a direct tool of national strategy. And there's no better example of this right now than Saudi Arabia. The CEO of their music commission, Paul Pacifico, puts it right out there. They see it as a totally blank canvas where they can build a brand new music industry, all funded and directed by the state. The scale of this plan is, well, it's just hard to wrap your head around. We're not talking about a small arts grant here. This is part of the kingdom's Vision 2030, a plan to completely transform the country, backed by an estimated $1 trillion. Music is a strategic piece in a massive national puzzle. Now, of course, this kind of top-down approach has its critics. It brings up this idea of culture washing, the argument that these huge, expensive cultural events are a way to polish a country's image on the world stage and maybe distract from other political issues. And it's so important to remember that this state-led project is happening in a region that has a long, powerful history of the exact opposite. As the scholar Hajer Ben Boubaker points out, the Middle East and North Africa have a deep tradition of grassroots protest music that has always challenged power, existing completely outside of state control and often fighting against it. Okay, so we've seen these forces from the top pushing down and these forces from the bottom pushing up. Let's bring this all back home, back to you and your playlist, and figure out what your role is in this whole giant ecosystem. Because here's the thing, every single song that lands in your playlist, every track you hear, it's the final page of a really long and complicated story. It's a survivor of that global tug of war we've been talking about. Yep, it's a story shaped by all of it. By the cold economics of that pro-rata model, by government plans, by censorship, but also by the passion of a human music critic and the raw energy of a grassroots community just wanting to be heard. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this. In this whole system, your attention is your power. It's your currency. Every stream, every song you share, every concert ticket you buy, it's a vote. You are actively casting a ballot for the kind of music world you want to see. Which leaves us with one last question. The next time you go to press play, just think about that long story for a second. Are you voting for the algorithm or for the human curator? For the state's grand symphony or for the raw protest song? When you press play, what are you really supporting?